I'm in Atlanta with my daughter, my wife, and we're living with my wife's grandmother in a small little one-bedroom home, and my daughter is sleeping in a wagon that somebody bought her for her birthday because me and my wife couldn't afford a bed, and my wife is pregnant with our son. And I don't have a job. And I always tell the story about when my faith was fortified and my life went to another level, was the only thing I had at that moment was a prayer and a book. And the prayer that I prayed was, Lord, I don't know what you want me to do. Exact prayer, I don't know what you want me to do. But people keep coming to me telling me, speak, Inky, you need to speak. And I'm like, I'm not speaking. Like, I don't want to do that. People coming, Inky, you need to speak. I'm like, no, man. I want to just work up here, create a couple of curriculums, leadership stuff for kids. I'll do that. Somebody come, Inky, you need to speak. No, man. And God brought me to the point where I had nothing, and I was on my knees. I said, Lord, listen, I don't know if this is what you want me to do, but I submit, and let's rock. And the next morning I woke up, I had my book I had written, and me and my boy Jeff, and I wrote it, and I got up and I looked at my wife. I said, I'm going to take this book to Oprah. My wife looked at me and said, oh, cool. Do you know Oprah? I'm like, nope. Hey, you know anybody that work with Oprah? Like, nope. You know anybody at Harpo Studio? I'm like, nope. She said, you sure? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, go for it. I took off to go to Chicago in my truck, same truck I drive now. I got my little 2X suit on. You can see I'm nowhere near the 2X, right? I'm driving. I got about $200 to my name. I'm praying, like, Lord, don't let me get a flat, don't let nothing happen, because I'm done. So I get up Chattanooga, I call my buddy Jeff. Jeff's in Knox, he's an attorney. Jeff picks up, I said, Jeff, you ain't gonna believe it. I'm going to Chicago to meet Oprah. Jeff said, oh, Inky, you know Oprah? I'm like, nope. Jeff immediately says, Inky, I know you're a highly ambitious person. I need you to hang up, think this through, and call me when you get to Knoxville, because the chances of that happening are a long shot, and I don't want you to be disappointed. I get to Knoxville, I call Jeff. Jeff picks up. He said, you still going? I said, yep. He said, stop by and pick me up, man. I just don't want you to be too down when it doesn't happen. I pick him up. We get to Chicago that night. Jeff gets to the hotel, said, Inky, you want me to get you a room? I said, no, I just sleep on a little cot, man. Get up the next morning. Jeff says he's going to work out. I said, I'm going to go to the front desk. He'll get some information, try to get to the studio. I'm looking at Jeff. He's looking at me. I'm getting the information. I go to take off, and Jeff says, Ink, wait. I said, man, let me go change. I'm going to go with you. You know, I just don't want you to be too let down. I said, all right, cool. He said, we'll take a cab. We take a cab over. We get to the block, and it's massive. People everywhere. They're going, coming in and out. So we get out. Jeff says, I'm going to go to this coffee shop. He said, Ink, I'm sure this won't be long, right? And so I got my book. I got my suit. It's hot. Every door that opened, I ran in it. I'm, hey, man, Inky Johnson, drove from Atlanta. They're like, get out of here. I'm like, man, Oprah people rude, man. I thought you was nice. You give away cars, like you rude. Right? So after getting kicked out like 4 doors, I go to the back of the building. I sit down, I put my back on the building, look up to the sky, and I'm like, God, man. Thought it was you. I'm like, man, my wife gonna chew me out, man. And I get up and I walk around the side of the building. Homeless gentleman sitting there. I sit beside him. He said, how you doing? I said, man, I've seen better days. I said, how are you? He said, I'm great. I get up. I look down the sidewalk, and at this moment, there was nobody but Oprah and a security guard. Talking about nobody else. She's walking toward me. I'm walking toward her. I get a couple of feet away. I stop. She grabbed my suit. She said, hey, that's a nice suit. I said, thank you. I said, I drove from Atlanta. I wanted to get you my book. She said, oh, cool, great. I said, would you mind taking a picture? We take a picture, and I'm going to walk off. She said, I got to get in and do my show. I said, all right, thank you. And I'm going to walk off, and her security says to me, he said, hey, young man, come here. I stopped. I went back to him. He said, I just want to tell you something. He said, what just happened never happens. He said, now, I don't know what's going to come out of it. I don't know, book club, show. I don't know about any of that. He said, but I just want to make sure I tell you what just happened never happens. I said, thanks. So I leave. I start to put the picture on social media, send it to my friends, everybody's reaction. You going to be on a book club? You going to be on a show? Is she going to interview you? What's going to happen? I'm like, I don't know. I really don't care. I'm like, what just happened? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And I'm like, God, are we moving like that? Like, God, are we really moving to the point where I can get up in Atlanta, Georgia, look at my wife, don't know nobody in Chicago, don't know nobody on Oprah's staff, and look at my wife and say, I'm going to meet Oprah. I got a certain level of faith that I'm going to meet Oprah. And God puts me face to face with Oprah and puts the book in her hand. I said, God, let's go.